Okay, let's have a look at the first question. It says find the value of x and y. That should say find the value of p and y. Okay, so let's have a look at the side called y. Now we've got to find the matching side in the other triangle. The easiest way to match sides is to match angles. So I'm just going to put a dot here and a dot here. Okay, so now I've got all three angles marked in both triangles. Now, the y side corresponds to a dot and an arc. So we go to the other triangle, we see the dot and the arc here. That corresponds to then the 7 centimeters. So we can write down y divided by 7. Okay, that's y divided by 7. Now, let's have a look at the other side that we can work with. Now, we've got an arc and a cross here. That's 15. And on the other triangle, we have an arc and a cross, which is 12. So I can work with those two sides. So let's do that. So 15 over. Now 15 corresponds to the arc and the cross here, doesn't it? So if we just draw a line for the 15 centimeter side, you can see the arc and the cross sit on that side there. So that means that's why we're using the arc and the cross in the other triangle. Okay. So 15 over 12 there. We multiply both sides by 7 and that cancels. You get y is equal to 8.75 centimeters. Okay, now let's have a look at the other side we're going to find, which is P. So let's think about what side matches with P. Now P has a dot and a cross which sit on top of it. So we go to the other triangle and we see the dot and the cross sitting on the side of 8 centimeters. So that means we have P over 8. Okay, so the P matches with the 8. Now, we used the 12 and 15 before, so we use those again. So we're going to start with the 12 this time and then divide that by the 15. Remember, the order that you start dividing in has to be maintained. So small triangle divided by big triangle. So P divided by 8 is equal to 12 divided by 15. All right, now multiply both sides by 8. That cancels, and that should give you P is equal to 6.4. Okay, next question, number 2. Now we've got 3 sides given in each triangle, so what we're going to do is divide pairs of matching sides together. So let's take the biggest side first, 27.5, and we'll divide it by the longest side in the other triangle, which is 22. Okay, that should give you 1.25. And then the second longest side in the bigger triangle divided by the second longest side in the smaller triangle. So 20 over 16, also 1.25. Right, and we last of all we divide the shortest side in the bigger triangle divided by the shortest side in the smaller triangle. Okay, so we've got 3 pairs of sides in the same ratio. So the triangles are similar. So therefore, triangle MBT is similar to triangle. Now you've got to be careful here because you have to match the angles in the correct order. So what we're going to do is we are going to match the angles. So let's have a look. The longest side is 22. The angle opposite the longest side, I'm going to mark with an arc. In the other triangle, the longest side is 27.5. So the angle opposite the longest side, I will mark also with an arc. Now let's go to the second longest side, which in the smaller triangle is 16. The angle opposite that, I'll put a dot. And I'll go to the other triangle, and we have the second longest side, which is 20, and we'll put a dot just there. And that means the other angle is just marked with an X. Okay, so now we can match the angles correctly. Angle M matches with angle P. Angle B matches with angle D. And then obviously angle T matches with angle K. So that's the correct order. M goes with P, B goes with D, and T goes with K. Okay, so MBT matches with P. Oops, got that in the wrong order, haven't I? B matches with D. That's right, B with D, and then T with K. That's correct. All right, and we've got to put the reason there, side, side, side. Okay. All right, let's move on. So the next one is question 3. Okay, question 3. All right, I've got to prove that these triangles are similar. Now, you're given that here's a hypotenuse there, and then there's a hypotenuse there. Okay, so we'll divide those first. 25, so that's the pair of matching sides. 25 divided by 15 is 5/3. And then we have the other side, which is 20 divided by 12, which is 5/3. We also have angle U is equal to angle H equals 90 degrees. And the reason for that is given. Okay. Therefore, triangle UZV is similar to triangle. Now let's get the angles right. So if we have a look at the angle opposite the second longest side, we'll put a dot there. And in the other triangle, the angle opposite the second longest side, we'll put a dot there, which means we can put a dot there, across there and across there. So we've got the matching angles now. So U obviously matches with H. Z will match with P. And V will match with J. Okay? And the reason for that is RHS. Okay, so let's have a look at the next question. Number 4. Got to prove that those two triangles are similar. So we'll start off by saying that this pair of angles here are equal, okay, because they're vertically opposite. So we're going to say angle EBA equals angle CBD. And the reason is vertically opposite angles are equal. All right. Now, the next thing you should notice, we've got a pair of parallel lines here. So there's an arrow there showing that the lines are parallel. So I've got a pair of alternate angles which are equal. Okay. So that's and that means we've got two pairs of matching angles, which means the triangles are similar. So we're going to say that AE is parallel to DC, right? And the reason is given, right? And therefore, angle AEB equals angle CBD. And the reason is alternate angles on parallel lines are equal. So alternate angles on parallel lines are equal. Okay, so we've got two pairs of equal angles, so we're going to say therefore triangle AEB. Let's just fix it up there, that B there. So AEB is similar to triangle. Now make sure the angles match up. So A, I'll put across there, will match up with C. So it's going to be C. And then E matches up with D, and then B. And the reason is you can put AAA if you want, equally angular. Now, for the next part of the question, we've got to find a length. So let's just mark some of those on there. It says DC is 8. So that's 8 there. Then AE is 14. So that's that there. And then CB is 7. So that's that there. Okay, we've got to find AB. So let's go AB divided by now the matching side. So let's have a look at AB. AB has a cross and a dot sitting on that side there. So we need the dot and the cross on the other smaller triangle, which is 7. So it's AB divided by 7. And then we'll start with the 14. Now 14 is the cross and the arc. So we go to the other triangle. The cross and the arc sit on the side with 8. So that's 8 there. And times both sides by 7. And you've got your answer. Okay, so that's going to give me AB is equal to 12.25 centimeters. Okay, now last question. Okay, so we've got a triangle within a triangle. So we've got to prove that two triangles are similar. So notice that we've got a common angle here. Okay, so angle H is common. Okay, now we can say for triangle HTM and the big triangle, which is HGU, okay, we can say that angle HTM is equal to angle HGU. Okay, so therefore we can say triangle HTM is similar to, now we're matching the angles up. Now H goes with H, T, angle T, angle T goes with angle G. Okay, so you can see that with the dot there. Okay, T goes with G, and then obviously U is the other angle. So we can put a cross there and a cross there, so they're matching. Okay, now the reason they're similar, you can put A as your reason equally angular. All right. Now, the next part of the question says find the value of X. Now, when you've got two triangles in the one diagram, it can often help to draw them. Okay, so that means if I just trace along this side, it's my rough sketch. Let's see if that works. If I can grab that and pick that up. Yeah. So there's the little triangle. And then I'm going to trace over the other triangle. And it's a bit wonky, but that'll do. There we go. And let's pick that up. And we'll drag that over here. Okay. Now we're going to label the vertices. So this is HTM, and this is H, U, G. Now, on the little triangle, this is X, and on the big triangle, this is X plus 6. Okay, then we have 15 on the big triangle, then 10 on that triangle there, and then we'll mark the angles. So in the little triangle, we've got a dot, an X, and an arc. And in the big triangle, we have the arc here, cross here, and the dot here. Now, we want to find X. So if we go to X, which is the dot and the arc, over here, the side which corresponds to that is here, the dot and the arc. We've got nothing on that side, so we can't really use that one there. But we can use the X plus 6. So I'm going to write down the X plus 6 there. So let's just see. The X plus 6 lines up with the cross and the arc. And over here, we have the cross and the arc. So these two sides match up. So we're going to write down X plus 6 over 10 equals. And then if we start with the 15, that's the dot and the cross there. Actually, we've got to put the 12 for the TM. That should be 12 there. So the dot and the cross there are 15, and the dot and the cross here are 12. So then we've got 15 over 12 here. Okay, from there, we're going to times both sides by 10. That cancels, and that leaves me with X plus 6 is equal to 8. And that means X equals 2. Okay, so that is it.